Page 84, Amazing Grace. This is on pages 84 and 85. There's nothing new as far as I can tell. We're moving around a bit. We'll talk about that. That's the hands are moving around. I mean, we're sitting still. The hands, okay. 3/4 time, treble and bass clef. Got eighth notes in here and half notes and dotted half notes. I think we can handle all that, I hope. There is a pickup measure, so we're coming in on beat 3, which means there should be 2 beats someplace else. And if you look at the last measure on page 85, that has a half note, which is 2 beats. So those are the first 2 beats, and beat 3 is over here at the beginning. I'm going to take this one hand at a time. Let's make sure we have the notes and rhythms and fingerings for each hand, starting with the right hand. It comes in on the first full measure with thumb on middle C. So you're here. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go over to measure 9. You're here. 1 and 2 and 3. 2. Rest. 2, 3. 1, 2. Rest. 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then the left hand gets that last chord there at the end. So the right hand's just staying right here. The left hand is starting out with thumb on G here. That's just a start, and it's a 3 and then a rest for a while, and then you have a C and a G. Dotted half note gets 3 counts. Remember, it's the same as 3/4 notes, 3 counts. Then measure 3. 1, they say extend the thumb. What they mean is you're going to move the thumb up. Remember when, maybe I told you, I can't remember what I've said now. It's the thumb and the little finger have to cover 2 notes sometimes. So this is all this is doing. So for measure 3, it's 1, 2, 3, and then once you do that, you can collapse the hand, and here we moved. We went from here to here. We do it that way. This happens a lot. You're kind of crawling around. Yeah. So again, measure 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 2. And then I measure 5 during the rest, come back down here. So at measure 6, you're back where you were. 2, 1, 2. Measure 9, you got the C chord for 3 counts, and then another one for 2 counts. And there's a lift there. Isn't that nice? They're telling you you're going to move. Lift isn't part of the music. You're not normally going to see that. You just got to figure it out. When you see the 4th finger on the G, the quarter note, you know you got to move because you're out of position. And all we're going to do is simply lift up and move. Here. 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 2, 3. Measure 13 during the rest. You come back down. Now, again, this is measure 14. That's the 5/7 chord, so the little finger's going to come down here. And the last measure, the left hand plays that. You come over the right. Pretend there's a right hand right here, and we're coming over here. It's a C and an E. You use any 2 fingers you want. 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 5 and 3. Just play them. Put the hands together. 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2 and. You go through and put the hands together. Then go back through it a few hundred times or whatever and get rid of the hesitations. So it's a steady beat. And when you feel you're ready, we can try the articulation. Here it's all connected. You have the phrasing. You lift up in the right hand between the phrasing, or in some cases it's both hands, because at the beginning it's all that's a phrase. And then you lift up, like taking a breath. You lift up. Now at the left hand at the bottom of page 84, measures 6 and 7, they only have a slur over here. I'm suggesting you connect that left hand all the way through, just all on that line. Start at measure 6, connect all of this. Yeah, connect all that together. So you lift up between the phrasing. For the dynamics, it starts out mezzo piano or moderately soft, sort of soft, whatever you think sort of soft is. Not soft, just on the soft, it's in the middle, soft side of the middle somewhere, I don't know. And that's the melody. This chord needs to be in the background. Play it softly. Can you play this a little louder than that? And then on measure 3, the left hand gets the melody. So it's got to sound like one hand played all of that. So your measure 3 in the left hand, you're soft, and then come up. And then next line on measure 6 and 7, you have that hairpin to get louder. That arrow, I call it hairpin. So you're moderately soft, stay there. Now come up a little bit moderately loud. Here. And this can bring this up now. All the time in measures 7 and 8, when you're doing this, I want to hear this. Don't drown it out. So this is moderately loud, and this is going to be soft, moderately soft, and that's about, you just come up just a little bit, is all. And now you're loud for the last note on that page. And the right hand, the left hand's still on the soft side. Now the left hand gets melody for here, and that's melody. So now the right hand has to be soft. Go back to measure 9. It's right hand. Now left hand, and you have the hairpin to come down. Come back down about a moderately loud. Now you're moderately soft. You could come down to moderately soft there if you wanted to in measure 12, but I like to have a little bit of difference, because once you play that note in measure 12, it dies away. I mean, so I'd be moderately loud there and then moderately soft. And then the last 2 measures, you're going to gradually get a little softer. Take it a beat at a time. Moderately soft, just a little softer, now soft. Here. So, and there's your RIT there too. And then next to the last measure, retardando, remember, gradually slow down. Ba ba da, slow down. Okay. Again, ideally, you get to know it well enough that you're not thinking about the mechanics, and you get into the music, you feel these dynamics. Speed is gently, there's all kinds of recordings of this. This is a well-known melody. Just don't drag it. Some people, when they're singing, they'll drag it out so they can hear themselves. That's fine if you can sustain the sound, but on a piano, no. It's got to flow. It's got to move at least a little bit. Now they've added pedal on here. You don't need pedal on this piece. You do it fine without. But they've added it, so let's see if we can understand what's going on. Because again, if you're going to use pedal, use it for reasons or don't use it. Don't just use it because the book says to. That's the wrong reason to use it. Understand the effect it's having on the music. Again, that's why we first learn a piece without pedals, so we can hear it all and make sure the fingers are doing what they need to do. So when we add pedal, we can hear the difference. I'm going to use lag pedaling or syncopated pedaling, however you want to call it. That is, the notes go down first and then the pedals, because I want to start the sound before I release the overtones. So at the beginning, when I play the here, C, then the pedal here. And it stays down until after I play the next half note. Right there. After I play that half note, I lift it up. So again, the first line. And measure 5, same thing, exactly the same thing you just did. I'll measure 9, again, same thing. Play the notes and then the pedal. They want you to do this and then lift it up there on measure 11 after you play the notes. Here. I don't like a measure 9. That's too much. I don't want to. So I'm going to show you a technique you haven't learned yet. The book hasn't presented. They will eventually, but you need it here. in my opinion. I don't want all that sound for measures 9 and 10 run together. So I'm going to suggest we do a technique called change pedal. And that is where you let the pedal up and right back down. You just change it. That way, when you let it up, you're getting rid of all those overtones you had, and you put it down, you're ready for more. So a measure 9 where it's down, and right after I play the notes in measure 10, then I do it. Play them first and then change pedal. Right there. That way I get rid of the other. It's cleaner. They'll get around to showing it to you eventually. And then at the third beat on measure 10 here, I'd like to hear the rest in the right hand. So I'm going to suggest you lift the pedal right after you play that quarter note and leave it up there. So again, start at measure 9, it's here, change, and then play the note and lift it up and leave it up. And then at the end you do push it down, lift it up, and then push it down. And at the end, the pedal and the hands all come up at the same time. That's what I'm suggesting on the pedal here. I complicate the pedaling a little bit, but it's important that you listen to the sound and the effect the pedal has. And if you get used to listen to all that mess, you'll think it's fine. You'll get used to it. And I don't want you to get used to it. I want you to be very critical with the sound the pedal is having on the effect it has. Let's play it together slowly and double check all the notes and rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'll try and pedal it as I suggested. I'll give us 2 counts. Ready, go. 2 counts. Now let's play it together. This is to make sure you're playing all the right notes at the right time. You should be playing the same note I'm playing at the same time I'm playing it. Ready, go. 1, 2, and 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2. 2. Off. Now there's a duet for this at the bottom. I'd like to play that, and you play what we just played. I'll speed it up a little bit. And again, I need you to go up an octave on the keyboard. You've done this before. So you just pretend that middle C, instead of here, is up here. And instead of here, you're up here. And play it all up here. I'll give us 2 counts. Now let's play it together. Keep in mind the duet part's all different than yours, so just keep the beat and stay with me. Ready, go.